and welcome to Cambridgeshire Library's online craft time. Today I'm going to show you how you can make some Easter cages for eggs, toys, anything that you would like to either gift somebody, or you could hide them around your garden or park for an Easter egg hunt. And you can see we're going to make these with cotton or with wool. I hope you enjoy my online crafts. Thank you for watching. To make our Easter cages, you will need some PVA glue, a tub for mixing, a small amount of water, some wool or cotton, depending on which design you'd like to go for or what you've got. I've only used odds and ends, a balloon or more if you'd like to make more, some scissors, something to stir with, and some goodies, some chocolate eggs, bunnies. You can even put a toy in there. Okay, so to start with, we're going to make our glue mix. You may want to put some rough newspaper down. You will need quite a lot. I use a tub because you want to make sure that the whole of your wool or your cotton is soaked in glue before you start. Now this mixture is mostly PVA glue with a tiny bit of water, just a drop, to make it a little bit thinner so your wool or your cotton absorbs it. I've used about 8 meters of wool, and what you want to do is drop it into your glue a little bit at a time. You do not want it to knot up, so you're just dropping it in, and I suggest you get it all in there first before you then push it down into your glue. If you push it down a little bit at a time, you may find that you get very sticky fingers and you'll stick to your wool where you don't want to. Once you've got it all in, you will then want to make sure that you've left the end out. It may look like a lot of wool, but when you get going on your balloon, it actually covers quite nicely. And all I've done is a rough measurement of about 8 meters. Right, we're nearly all in. So we're all in there. I've left the end out. You just want to make sure that all your wool gets completely covered. Now if you've got time, I would recommend leaving this to soak for a few minutes. It does make your cage definitely a bit firmer. It should still work if you don't, as long as you make sure that every single bit of your wool has got some glue on it. There you go, and I've still got hold of the end. I'm just going to drop that in while I've got hold of it, so that now when it comes out, it's going to be covered. If you're leaving it, leave it out like that, just to cover it. Next thing you'll want is your balloon. I've blown mine up quite small, as you can see, so that I can put small chocolates in mine. I start near the top, so you can lay it on any way you like, go in any direction, and what you're trying to do is cover enough of the balloon to make a solid cage. Now, it does depend on how big your treats are to how big you want your holes to be. If you've got big treats, you need to remember, as these go in afterwards, to leave yourself at least one hole that's big enough for your treats. Now mine, I've got some small and I've got some big. So it's entirely up to you. And you'll keep going round, roughly in circles, but changing direction so you get a good coverage. Okay, I'll keep going. You'll notice that it does get a bit messy. I've got quite messy fingers at the moment, so some newspaper underneath is always good. Now, that does take some practice. It doesn't have to be that quick. And when you're ready, this now needs to dry completely. You can either peg it up on a line, you can put it in a cup, just make sure it turns around. It shouldn't stick to your cup. It might just need a bit of prising away. And it could sit like that, just turn it over. It can take overnight, it might take a whole day and overnight to dry because the wool takes up quite a lot of liquid. Now, for the cotton reel, I'm going to put some more glue in. It's slightly different. Again, just a drop of water, stir it up. Now the cotton reel I wouldn't take off the reel, because as soon as you start taking it off the reel, it will knot up very, very quickly. Again, leave the end out, and you can leave it to soak. So if you've got a dish that's deep enough for your cotton reel, that's probably a good idea. I'm going to do mine straight away, but again, if you've got time, do leave it to soak. This is fiddlier. So you're pulling it off the cotton reel, and what you want to make sure is as your cotton comes off your cotton reel, that it's still completely covered in glue. It won't work if you don't have glue all over, so take your time and make sure it's covered. But the aim is just the same, to cover as much as you can, or as much as you'd like, to get your desired cage effect. Okay, and when you're finished, it should look a little bit like that. Once your cage is completely dry, it should be nice and crispy, nice and firm to the touch, and you're going to want to burst your balloon so that you can put your treats inside. Now, there we go, and that will start to crackle and come away. You can hear that coming away from the outside. You'll see it's quite sturdy. Balloon is out, and then you can put your treats in. Find a hole that's just big enough. You might have to try and find a few. And your treats will go in, making it a nice cage. Ready for a hunt. Here's some that I made before. And these could go outside. You could give them as a present, or as I showed you in the beginning. This one I made with some cotton rather than wool, and I've just cut a section out of the front. Very nice. You might want to make a bigger one, but remember you'll need significantly more cotton, and you could put a teddy rather than chocolate in, or something for Nanny or Grandad or Mum and Dad. Thank you for watching today's online craft time. I hope you enjoy making your own egg cages and have fun this Easter. Bye.